Well, good morning, Arizona. All of those stories coming up in just a moment, but we begin with wildfire season because it has its grips on Arizona here at 7 o'clock. Good morning, Arizona. Thanks for spending time with us at 7 o'clock. Scott, welcome back.
Hey, thank you, Olivia. Scott here in Studio C. Right now, 4 Arizona communities keeping a close eye on the bushfire. 2 of them already evacuated, 2 more getting ready to go at a moment's notice. So Arizona's family bringing you team coverage because this fire is having a huge impact. So Heidi is following the road restrictions in the area as not 1 but 2 highways are shut down. Ian has a look at the weather crews are facing because we know that any change in the wind or heat can certainly make a big difference. But first, Kylie's got to look at how COVID-19 is making the evacuation process really tricky for everyone involved. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. We are here at the evacuation center. This is what Red Cross set up at a school here in Miami. With the COVID pandemic, though, things are definitely different. They check people's temperatures when they get here. They can't actually stay here, but they do provide water and some food. They can rest here as well. We want to talk over the next few minutes, though, about the evacuation, what's been happening, and the plan for today. So this morning, we've got Carl. He just got here. He is the emergency manager for the Gila County Sheriff's Office. Talk a little bit about the evacuation. How many people evacuated and what the process has been like over the last 24 hours?
So the evacuation came on rather quickly. This fire has moved at a rate that I have not seen before in my career. About 300 to 400 homes in Tonto Basin, Pumpkin Center area were evacuated. We did this in partnership with the Sheriff's Office and the Office of Emergency Management, using Everbridge Mass Notification System and also door-to-door notification with the Sheriff's Office.
So we know some folks have come here, but they obviously can't stay here, so they've got lodging in different places. What do you think is going to happen today? I mean, talk about some of the challenges that these firefighters are up against now that the acreage count is at about 47,000.
Yeah, the acreage has grown at a tremendous rate, and a lot of that is due to the weather and the high winds. The heat and the winds all just contribute to how fast this fire is growing. So I think we're going to see a significant increase in acreage today, and I really just hope that those firefighters are doing everything they can to stay safe.
I mean, the fire right now is 0% contained. Anytime you hear 0 and containment, you freak out, obviously. This is going to be a fire that's going to take days, even weeks to fight.
Yes, it could potentially go on for a while. It all depends on how they can get in there and kind of build containment. I mean, sometimes when you see 0% containment, people assume that nothing has been done. That sometimes just means that they are creating a position in which they can fight that fire. So 0% containment doesn't mean no progress. It just means that there is no actual black outline around that fire quite yet. So even though there's 0% containment, I do believe that they are making progress on containing this fire.
Yeah, that's a good description of that because it is kind of confusing when you hear it and you don't know a lot about fires. No structures burned at this time, correct?
Not that we're aware of.
Not that we're aware of. So we're hoping that that continues to be the case, guys. Again, this fire burning in the Tonto National Forest. Ian, you have covered so many wildfires. I've been texting with you throughout the morning. You're so knowledgeable. And unfortunately, as you track those conditions, it is going to be a very tough day for firefighters with the winds, the heat, and then the dry conditions.
Yeah, the trifecta, especially the wind. I want to show you an image from yesterday when this fire really blew up. This is a satellite view. This is GOES 16. It's a satellite that's about 25,000 miles in the air. So here's Arizona. These are monsoon thunderstorms, clouds you see. But look in the middle. See this stream? That is smoke from this fire. We know it is a big fire because we can see it all the way from space. I'm going to zoom in a little bit for you, and you can see there's Roosevelt Lake right there. This would be, I think, Lake Pleasant. Here's the valley, and just a ton of smoke pushing all the way up into Apache and Navajo counties. Anytime we see a satellite image like this, where it is so visible from such a high elevation, a distance, we know that we're dealing with a pretty potent fire, and it gets thicker and thicker, and then the end of that loop, you see kind of this burst, plume, where we saw that pyrocumulus cloud. It looks like a giant thunderstorm or an A-bomb, and pretty tough stuff when we see something like this. So let's take a look at where the perimeter is of this fire. You can see it made some runs to the north and the east yesterday, pushing to the north and the east. That's why they did evacuations in that part up by Tonto Basin. Folks on Sunflower are on alert because it's also made some runs to the north and the east. We're going to see winds with gusts about 35 miles per hour for today. It'll be hot. It will be dry. How long will these winds last? Will we get a break for Wednesday or Thursday? We're going to talk about that coming up in your next forecast in just a little bit.
All right, Ian, thank you. I'll take it from here. We want to talk about the closures that are in place because of this fire. So here we are in the valley. As I widen out this map, you can see where the closures are in relation to us. And again, these are where these are happening on the 87, the Bush Highway to Payson, shut down. It's been this way since the weekend. That fire, if you just looked at Ian's outline of it, you can see it's on both sides of the 87. And then you also have the 188 that is shut down between the 87 and the 88. So if you need to get into the valley from this area, from Payson, maybe you went up there for the weekend and you're stuck, you're going to want to take that 260 through Camp Verde, pick up the 17 there, and then head back down. It's going to be a little long. If you're in Show Low or anywhere in the White Mountains, your best bet is going to be the 60. And again, I know we're expecting a lot of heavier traffic on these detours because anybody who would normally be on the 88 or the 80 or the 188 or the 87, you're going to have that overflow traffic there. So give yourself a lot of extra time as we work around this.